Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, we are aware of the current war we are having between the executive and the judiciary. To fight judiciary, Ruto has come out with the allegation of corruption, that some judges are corrupt. We are now having tyrant of judges who are ruling against the government programs to derail his leadership in implementing his agenda. So the fight has been going on, and he's really advancing this war. He's now telling judges mambo ni matatu. With all this, we have seen Ruto trying also to use lawyers here and there to gang up and fight the judiciary. And Professor Mutahi Ngunyi has come out to try and embrace what Ruto is advancing. And according to Ngunyi, he's saying that the judiciary is brought to the core. So one man with God in majority can drain the swamp. According to him, Ruto is one man with God. And therefore, Ngunyi is advising Ruto to drain the swamp, deal with the judges decisively, including kwa yale mambo matatu: uhame Kenya, uende jela, ama usafirishwe mbinguni. And this is what Mutahi Ngunyi tweeted: Dear Ruto, you are dead right. The judiciary is corrupt to the core and from the core. Kiraitu Murungi fired 30 judges in 2003 for corruption. As the executive, you must drain this swamp. Do it for the people, despite the people. One man with God is in the majority. Drain the swamp. Now, the response from Miguna to Mutahi Ngunyi was right. Miguna is reminding Mutahi Ngunyi of his rot side. He's telling us that the judiciary is rotten to the core. But again, above all, there was at one point where Mutahi Ngunyi was mentioned in NYS scandal. We saw civil society groups calling for Mutahi Ngunyi's prosecution because they came out like defending the corruption. 1 billion shilling was lost through NYS scandal. And Miguna is telling Ngunyi, you are not qualified to address anyone on corruption. That is rotten to the core. That he stole public money through NYS scandal. So he should just keep quiet. That means Miguna is on defense of judiciary, while Ngunyi is defending the man who want to oppress, intimidate, and frustrate the judiciary. Mr. Mutahi Ngunyi, you aren't qualified to advise anyone about corruption. You are rotten to the core. You stole public money through the NYS scandal, but you haven't been punished for it. You intentionally burnt down your house a few years ago and stole insurance money. That is Miguna to Mutahi Ngunyi.
I think we remember that when Josephine Kahura released famous affidavit, Mutahi Ngunyi was very quick to criticize her and say that in fact those were her imaginations. But now for the first time, we are getting to know that Josephine was actually telling the truth about this scandal. She was actually revealing what really happened and the key actors who are involved in this process. So what Ngunyi has done in essence is to give us more information, to give the public more information about those who are involved and how much money they secured from the NYS. I think what we know now is that the same way Josephine's affidavit claimed that at some point she was carrying sacks of money. And I think the figure that was given at that point was 80 million. In a similar way, Mutahi Ngunyi is telling Kenyans that he also has 11 million lying around in his account, and money that he himself cannot account for, money that he claims was never invoiced to any government department. So for us, this is further proof of what happened at NYS in terms of the scandal that led to loss of over 1 billion Kenya shillings. And we say therefore that he must be arrested, arraigned in court, and charged with corruption. Among us.
Now, we are continuing this panel discussion, but just a quick request. For those who are watching and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to this discussion. Now, majority of Kenyans believe that William Ruto is wrong and is looking for scapegoat. Above all, he is forcing his way by intimidating and threatening judges. So there is no one who is in agreement with what Ruto is doing. But we know few individuals who are defending Ruto are doing so for their own personal interest, not for the goodwill of Kenyans. If you think about the goodwill of Kenyans, there is no way you are going to attack the judiciary or support anyone who's attacking judiciary when they make such kind of a ruling, for example, to do with the affordable housing, terming it unconstitutional. You can't. But Miguna has used this opportunity to hit back on Ngunyi and remind him of the corruption that he was mentioned in to do with the NYS scandal. So you want to talk about corruption, but you defended the corruption at one point, and people came out and called for your prosecution. So if at one point Ngunyi was defending the corrupt, he was with them, then he's coming here to tell William Ruto that the judiciary is rot to the core, drain the swamp. When did he become clean? And when did he stop supporting corruption? He can't explain this. Therefore, having such a man, he has no quality, or he don't qualify. He's not worthy to address anyone on corruption. So Mutahi Ngunyi, Miguna is in defense of judiciary, and he's against what Ngunyi is trying to advance in embracing the intimidation that Ruto is advancing towards the judiciary. Mambo ya kupigia majaji kelele, mambo ya kuleta vurugu kwa koti isimamishwe, iachwe, na hakuna mtu yote mwenye anafaa to advance that narrative. The fact remains that if Ngunyi wants to defend Ruto, he has to come out with evidence and share those evidence with Kenyans. Then use that one in the court of law to challenge these judges. As long as they cannot come out with evidence, if they cannot present evidence to the Judicial Service Commission or in any court of law, it remains hot air. Ruto has failed to present any evidence that he has. Ako na Attorney General Office iko pale, he can launch a complaint or take the case to the court. He has not done so. Ngunyi is coming here to support Ruto because he wants to embrace Ruto. He's now on Ruto's side, and the only thing he can do is to support even the ugly in this government. He jumped from Azimio to Kenya Kwanza. Alisema yeye akilipwa atafanya kazi. Kwa hivyo kama Ruto amemlipa basi anamfanyia kazi. ama kama serikali ya Ruto imemlipa, basi atafanya kazi ya kuwafurahisha. So he's here to please William Ruto without necessarily thinking on the impact of what Ruto is advancing for. So before Mutahi Ngunyi would tell us that the judiciary is not to the core, let him table evidence to prove his point. And I think that is what Mutahi Miguna is also asking for. Let William Ruto come out and table evidence, because this is a man who has the intelligence. He sits with them, they feed him with information every day. 3 to 4 times on a day, he gets intelligence information. So if intelligence information is at your disposal, what is hard for you to take the evidence you've got from the intelligence and challenge this judiciary or table it in the court of law? Or even if you want to bring it in the opinion public court, you bring it and create that perception with the evidence that you have. As long as you fail on this, it remains hot air, it remains noise. So we know all the policies that Ruto has come out with, they are kind of scandalous and oppressive to Kenyans. So anyone who supports what he's doing, he is against Kenyans. Mutahi Ngunyi is against Kenyans. He wants Ruto to continue oppressing Kenyans, cutting their money, for putting that money in a project that he knows very well that these Kenyans are not going to benefit directly from this project. Even indirectly, how? How? When you end up putting a product that is going to be sold so much expensive compared to other private developers, when you have used taxpayers' money, you've been given free land, free title deed. He is scandalous. So Miguna is hitting out at Ngunyi, exposing him and challenging him to come with evidence, and therefore, if you don't have any evidence, he's not qualified to speak on corruption. Period.